Let's go on to our next game, which should be a absolute just barn burner of just beatdown for the Rams. San Francisco, the Rams. Let's start with these quarterbacks. Purdy's in a great spot, and Stafford, as good as he is, it's going to be a nightmare situation for him this week. Are you playing? Let me start this. Are you playing Stafford this week? Like, is that in your range of outcomes, or are you trying to bench him?
The Smitty's got it absolutely correct here. He has no weapons. He has no offensive line. It's over for Matt Stafford, at least this week. There's no way I'm playing him. I can't. There's got to be 15, 20 better options. I'm stalling so I can pull up my rankings to see where I actually have him ranked. 21. I have Justin Fields ahead of him against a pretty good Chargers defense because of that floor. I just at 30 to 10 sounds about right. Stafford's got nothing going on this week.
Yeah, it should be a cakewalk for them. And I get it, like the 49ers are dealing with a lot of injuries too, but just the talent differential between them is exemplified by the injuries that have hit the Rams compared to the 49ers. Like the 49ers can afford to lose a McCaffrey. You could afford to lose a Debo because you still have two elite other options. You have like the line. Like, so it just is what it is with these two teams. Is Purdy a top 12 guy for you this week, or is he more like quarterback 15?
Number 9 ahead of Derek Carr. This defense for the Rams is atrocious. They don't have any. The only thing they have going is Jared Verse over there, who seems to have a bit of skill rushing the passer. I would hope so. They picked him in the first round. Otherwise, the back end isn't looking good. They were a bit of fool's gold in week 1. We were like, oh, maybe the Rams defense isn't as bad as we thought. Yes, they are. We saw it in week 2. We're going to continue to see it. It's awful for them, and San Francisco is going to eat them alive this week.
Yeah, this is a note from Sleepy where he's deciding between the two quarterbacks. It's like, yeah, is that how it goes? I mean, you need those guys to carry you. So, I mean, Coleman and Pittman is really you're going to need some of those early guys to do the work for you. I mean, it could be done. I'll ask this question. For me, it's CeeDee Lamb. Who's your wide receiver? What is it? Is it anyone else for you?
It was Tyreek. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. It's got to be CD. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, it's just the situation. Everything's still set up for him. Yeah, you should not trust DeAndre Swift. Just like the usage is not there. If it's anybody, it's gonna be Khalil Herbert running all over. Like that's a good point. Dude, it's gross. The line situation's off. You could play, like I'll say you could play him, but like I have zero confidence in it. Like I've seen the DeAndre Swift experience. Like I'm terrified of him. He's like my RB31, even in a fantastic matchup. It's so hard to trust that situation in offense. And he's splitting his work. It's just
But he should run all over them like he should, right? So that's the issue that we're having is he won't. I mean, this is yet again another victim of the Philadelphia scheme with Jalen Hurts, the elite rushing quarterback back there. We saw it happen with Miles Sanders when he went to Carolina. We're seeing it happen again with DeAndre Swift. We were warning you all offseason not to go in on DeAndre Swift. That said, he could have a good game. It doesn't matter. If he has a good game and you have him and you want to plug him in as a flex, go ahead. That said, it's not going to happen again. Then you sell his ass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is going back to Detroit with DeAndre Swift. He has all the talent in the world. His processing is his big issue. His vision sucks, and it creates issues. Particularly, he can't make up his mind on holes to read. I'm rambling a little bit, so I don't want to talk about this too much. But like he's a flawed running back, and it's showing up when they paid him up front, and like the first running back off the board, I was like, what are we doing here, Chicago? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's go back to the game we're talking about here. With the running backs, how high is Jordan Mason and how low is Kyren Williams for this week?
We'll start with Kyren. I need to find him. Scrolling.
That's not good.
Kyren is my RB30 this week. I have him below a ton of guys. He shouldn't be below, like Javonte Williams, Zamir White in a good matchup. It's just stupid for Kyren this week. Awesome front. Their line has been bad. He might be necessary. He might get all the volume. Yeah. The problem is I just think San Francisco is going to be out to a lead. They're not going to be able to use him a ton. Look, he can make me eat my words here and be used heavily in the passing game. They might need to. That said, obviously, I don't want anything to do with Kyren Williams this week. On the other side, Jordan Mason, my RB4 this week. He is going off.
Yeah, he just fits like a glove in that offense, man. It's so nice watching him just run downhill and punish dudes. Expect heavy workload for him. No one else is getting touches. I think, to your point, though, Kyren's going to be a focal point of the offense, and he's going to get volume. And if he gets the volume, I think he'll be like he's an RB2 for me. He's like RB20. Like I'm lower on him, but like I'm not that low. Like you can't. There's no way I'm starting Zamir. Like not a chance. Like I would never do that. I'd be like, not doing it. You guys, all right? Because I think Zamir White just is not good. Is my issue with that. So like
that's
like
true.
So like if I'm in that situation, they're splitting work. Like no thanks. But yeah, you guys could do it. Like if you want to do it, I'm clearing myself from that. Like,
so all right. Well, but here's the thing, right? And we just talked about Swift going up against a really bad Indy D who just lost their centerpiece. Well, Zamir is going up against an even worse Carolina D who just lost their centerpiece and Derek Brown. I mean, it's horrible for Carolina. I don't know that Andy Dalton makes it a ton better. We know that the Raiders are going to be in this game. I have Zamir ranked the highest of these three. I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud of that. But yeah, I think just because of the variance and the upside, I might go Kyron here. Yeah, because those other guys suck.
Yeah,
it's really
like
tough.
Swift has talent. Like I think he's more talented. This is kind of the Georgia running back thing, but yeah, I still have Kyron clearly above those guys. But yeah,
I get it.
If you want to do it, you can talk yourself into those situations. A good matchup. Like that's kind of what depended. By the way, they've given up the second most points to running backs. Only the Cowboys have given more, which is a crazy stat. So yeah, Carolina's been rough. You want to start players against Carolina. Their defense is atrocious. So I get it.
But
there just comes a point where it's a tipping point. It's a little bit too much. It's like I can't do it with Kyron. I think he's too good. He's gonna get volume. But yeah, like it could be a situation in the third quarter. They're down 25 points. This game's over. They pull a starters. Like, and then they go to Blake Corp. Like that's entirely in the range of outcomes. So if you're worried about that, go with the other guys. I'm just gonna ride with Kyron personally. But yeah, you can do it. This is one of the fun dilemmas about fantasy where like you kind of try to play the game script out. And it also like this happens all the time. We're wrong with these game scripts. Like it was a Derrick Henry game script. No, it wasn't. They lost that game. So it kind of happens. This is the interesting and fun thing we do every week with these games. Let's talk about the wide receivers. The ghosts of whatever's going on with the Rams. You starting any of those guys, DeMarcus Robinson maybe? And on the 49ers, how high are we ranking Brandon Ayuk and any other 49er wide receiver are we going to play this week?
Ayuk's probably not high enough. He's my wide receiver 15. I'll take it though. He's pushing wide receiver 12 status just because there's nothing else. I think Kittle is a guy who probably benefits a little bit more. Ayuk is taking a while to ramp up. So I'm slightly hedging with my wide receiver 15, but he should eat in this game. On the other side, yeah, I love DeMarcus Robinson because he was the third option and because they had two elite wide receivers ahead of him. Now he's the best wide receiver. He's going to see all the coverage. That scares the crap out of me. DeMarcus Robinson is my wide receiver 38, and I'm worried about him being that high.
Yeah. Is he the only other wide receiver you're playing in here?
Yeah. I mean, who? Tyler Johnson, maybe. Whittington. Look, these guys are interesting, like grab and stash off the waiver wire guys. But there's no way in hell I'm playing them unless they show me for like multiple weeks that they can get it done. If Whittington truly has that Cooper Kupp role, he's in there in 100% of snaps, and he's, looking like that first option on crossers, great. Then I'll give him a shot. But yeah, go get him on, put him on the end of your bench right now. But otherwise, no, I'm not starting.
Yeah, I think if I'm playing another wide receiver in this game, it's Juwan Jennings. Like that's the other wide receiver I would play. But like, I really don't want to play Jennings. He's my wide receiver 49. Feels a little bullish, but like it's like the 49ers are going to eat, man, and he could easily get 5 receptions, get himself a touchdown, have a nice day. So overall, yeah. Robinson is 29. Safe to assume he's not going to match. Yeah, be good, right?
Well. Let me take this. The issue with this is no, he shouldn't be good. The problem is Matthew Stafford is amazing, and he just had a rapport with him at the end of last year. We saw it develop. We knew they had that going into this season, but now down 2 other guys. If DeMarcus is your number 1 target, he might get fed, but he might just not be open. If he's doubled, he's going to be completely erased. The San Francisco has the luxury of being able to do that because there's nobody else to worry about on this offense. So, it's trouble for DeMarcus this week.
Yeah, he's the guy that had the role going into the year. Like we don't have to project a role for him. I know people are doing it with Whittington, but like, dude, Whittington has a terrible profile coming out as a rookie. I know he got hyped, but I'd rather go Tutu Atwell if I'm doing that over Whittington. So I think we're getting really bullish with Whittington, and I'm like, dog, I need to see it because he did nothing in week 2, nothing in week 1. So personally, I'm just letting other people go with that. Like I think Robinson's the only guy really, but like it's just we're lower on the Rams this week. It just is what it is. Like they don't have they don't have the firepower to compete. So like we're just pushing them down across the board. It's unfortunate. Speaking of fun tight end options, the Rams have one. Let's talk about the 49ers though. How high is Kittle? Because Kittle seems like an absolute smash this week.
Yeah, 3. I have him above Sam Laporta, who hasn't really done it. Dalton Kincaid, who hasn't done it at all. Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce. So yeah, Kittle's my 3. I only have Bowers and McBride ahead of him. He's got a great matchup. Doesn't have to compete with Deebo Samuel this week. So yeah, fire him up with confidence for sure.
Yeah, and then Parkinson, I have him at tight end 16. You could talk yourself into Parkinson. I was kind of talking to myself a bit earlier in the year about it anyway, so this is kind of going on my priors. Are you willing to fire up Parkinson as a desperation tight end play this week?
Yes, I literally just moved him up before you said that sentence to tight end 16. And Ferguson's probably not going to play, so he's probably going to be tight end 15 when it's all said and done. So
sorry, bro.
It is.
Sorry, I had to say it. I couldn't resist.
Tresner, we're sorry to lose you. This is the state of the tight end situation.
We'll earn you back when he gets that touchdown this week. We'll earn you back. Yeah, if Deontay has a blow-up game, you could sell high. I don't know how high you're going to sell because people need to see it twice. They only see it once. Needs to do it twice. People are like, oh, it's a fluke with Andy Dalton. If he does it twice, I think you could quote unquote sell high, but you could try, man. No, I would start Ramondre over Kyron this week. Ramondre has the best. I'm gonna say this again. Ramondre has the best role in fantasy football right through 2 weeks. Like the best role. Like I'm starting Ramondre. Terrible offense. I don't even care, man. Like I'm just starting Ramondre.
And tough matchup, and it's still Ramondre.
Yeah. Kyron can't do it all by himself. He's not freaking Saquon Barkley. Like he needs a little bit of help. You know what I'm saying? So.